Victoria Blank wrote, I don't use the grays in my Prismacolor set, and I don't think I understand why I would. I've been trying to learn, but I still don't really understand why I wouldn't just use a darker version of that color, or an indigo blue, or say an orange to shade my yellows. So why would I choose to shade with the grays? I think I'm missing the purpose of them. There are so many in my Prisma set and a fair amount in the Arteza set, and a black riddle also. Should I just use them for blues? Hi Victoria, welcome to my channel. Okay, you had a very good question, and it's a question that comes to mind for every newbie person when they get their Prismacolor set and they look at, oh my God, there are so many grays. Why are there so many grays in this box? And you don't even use them. Well, that's kind of like playing a piano and not using the black keys. Eventually somebody's going to notice. And your question was very reasonable. Why not use a darker color? So I'm going to explain this to you and, well, everybody who may have the same question. And it's funny because some of my older students that have been around for a long time are going to be like, oh no, not this question again, because so many newbie people have it. So here I put down the blues. Now you just specifically said blues. And I did a very quick, it only had one layer underneath, and that's, we work in lots of layers here, but I needed to do this quickly because it's late. I mixed and blended black with the blue. This is not even the color I used. And I mixed indigo. And this is where I want you to look, just right here. Notice the difference in the color. Now, what I want you to do is take a look at this. If I could. This is casting a shadow. And down here has no gray in it at all. Let's see if I can get it. Okay, so we're going to look over here at the shadow. Now, there's two different things. We're talking about shade and we're talking about shadow. Notice how different this color right here, now that I've put a shadow on it, looks from this. This is the indigo mixed with it. It looks nothing like it. So you really can't shadow using indigo with blue. You have to go to your grays. Black is the absence of light. It's not really a color. It just means there is no light on there. But it still can take on a little bit of a blue undertone. So you'd have a bluish black, which is more natural a shadow color than an indigo blue. It changes when it turns to red, but as you saw in the video that you wrote your question under, that was an intermediate lesson that I did. I have a lot of people on here who are beginners, and I take the beginners, I push them all the way through to you almost advanced. Advanced coloring on here or advanced art, because there are advanced artists teaching on YouTube, and it's a totally different realm. With advanced art, you have to actually be able to use good pencils, you need good paper, you're using original designs. Here we're working in coloring books, and sometimes original designs, and we sometimes copy them onto good paper, and we try to get everybody at least to be using Arteza or one of the better pencils from Prismacolor on. I did a video on this subject too. Just hunt around in my videos. It's there. So here I mixed it with a 70%. Here I mixed it with a 30%. Here is a 20%. And here I'm actually putting the shadow. Now, when we're talking about shade and shadow are totally different things. when you're shading something, and we'll just say we'll make a ball. Now this is shadow. This is shade. You have a ball here, and I'm going to do it really quick. This ball. This ball is receiving light. Light is coming in, say, from that direction. As the light hits this area, it's going to be very light. I'm going to mix this with probably a powdered blue and a white. As you go over the ball and making it round, now right now it's two-dimensional. It's flat. It's boring. It's a circle colored in. That's all it is. But as I work on this, and it sometimes takes a while to get your colors smooth, and the ball is going to start to take on a three-dimensional shape. Now, you might want to add in a little bit of indigo. Well, this is black, not indigo. I just put my indigo pencil down. Oh, here it is. Okay, here is indigo over here. This is for shading. And what I'm doing is I'm sculpting this ball into a three-dimensional shape. I could do it with some more. And once you really work on it, you can actually sculpt that ball into something that's three-dimensional. And when you get down to the very end, you're going to put the shadow on it. And that shadow will help lift that ball right off the paper. Now, of course, I did this really quick. This should have taken me like 15, 20 minutes to just work on it. Now, that's a rudimentary shadow. That's only doing a cast shadow. It's not doing, I didn't put in a reflective shadow. Reflective shadow would be right down here. And that's all more advanced art. So you're going to shade and create three-dimension. It can be on leaves. There is no object on a coloring page that is only one color. If you put just, say you have a leaf, and you just color it with one color, it's going to be flat. If you use three colors, a light, a medium, and a dark, it's going to come to life. And that's actually what you're doing. You're shading that leaf or anything else. So I hope that made some sense to you. Your grays are going to go in with your shadow. Now, they're going to go in, you're going to tone, which is very important, using the grays also. So I may tone this down here instead of the indigo. I'll use a gray. And that's what we were talking about, what colors to use, which gray pencil you should use. As a beginner, the only rule you need to know as a beginner, and you're first picking up those shades and you're first doing your shadows, you're going to tone using your grays. For all of your pictures, warm colors with warm grays, cool colors with cool grays. And as you progress and your pictures start to evolve, then you'll start changing those rules where you're used to it one way and now you're ready to move on from that. And that's what we were doing yesterday. I have a lot of people who are intermediate now and they need to be using the grays properly. So at the beginning, it's okay. Well, actually, you mentioned that should you only do this to blue. No, you do this with every color that you use. Every color gets shaded and shadowed. Yes, you can shade yellow with orange, but you're not going to be able to shadow yellow with orange because orange is just never going to create that color. So I hope that you understand it a little better and watch that other video again, and you'll see what I'm talking about with the individual colors. Guys, welcome back. I have something really great to show you today. I received a message from the Secret Coloring Club, and the guy who wrote me was Yuri, and he is I guess the marketing manager for that group. Well, he asked me if I was interested in doing one of the pictures, and what his club does is they have artists and they take a photo and they make a coloring page out of the photo. He showed me the website, he showed me some reviews, and he wanted me to send him a picture and he would turn it into a coloring page. He also said to me that I can make changes on it if I want it, and it'll get done in 42 to 72 hours. That was like the window of time. It's really quick turnabout. So I was going to do a picture of Misty for my son-in-law. I was going to do it for him for Christmas. And I was going to do the sketch myself because I looked online and there was a lot of people doing, animal sketches, but they did not the coloring book type. I just wanted something that I can color on. So then I decided, no, I'll just do my own sketch. There were certain things about the dog that I wanted to capture. And the first thing was her eyes. I'll give you this look like I'm the dumbest thing in the whole entire world. But on the inside, she was sharp as a tack. She knew exactly what she was doing. So even when she was naughty, she knew what she was doing. But you couldn't get mad at her because what she had was on her mouth, the fur around her mouth made a smile. So it was constantly looking like the dog was smiling, even when it was not smiling. You had to smile when you looked at this dog. And then there was her fur. She was a mutt, and she had 4 different breeds in her. There was like Spaniel, Papillon, Chihuahua, and something else, a sheepdog. So she was a really unique looking dog, and she had fur that was like impossible to groom neatly. Her fur, like over here, grew straight. Over here was curly. All under her chest was curly. It was very hard to do one cut on this dog. So subsequently, it often looked like her fur was sticking out in all different directions, even though she was groomed by a professional groomer. I thought I was the only person who was going to be able to capture that look. I didn't want just a generic dog sketch. I wanted the essence of Misty captured on paper so that I could do it. And so the only person who knew her or could do this was me. So I gave them the picture of Misty that I was going to use as my own, which was this one. This is the one that I was going to use as the sketch because you can actually see the different coats of hair. You could see her smile. You could see the impish look in her eye, like, I'm dumb, but I'm really, really smart. Watch out. Like that fool you look. And exactly like they promised, I also told them I did not want lines going around. Now, they turned it into coloring book style, but they also say they can make changes and do it the way I wanted. So I asked them, like, immediately, I said, I don't want coloring book style. I don't want dog with a heavy black line around it. I want a sketch. I want one that I can turn a little bit more realistic. And without even batting an eye, Yuri said, okay. I was like, whoa, okay. Have it my way. And then I went and I waited. And in between then, we were like writing back and forth because he just seemed like a very interesting person and a very nice person. And we had he lived in Tel Aviv and my kids just got back from Tel Aviv. And I just had a very good rapport with him. I had a very good feeling inside of me that I liked this person. 2 days later, I get back this. They nailed it. Now, the face is wider because I haven't put the roundness in it. You're always going to have a wider looking face when you're doing a proper sketch. You don't have that skinny because I'm going to shape it. They nailed the eyes perfectly. I see Misty in those eyes so much. Like, they captured her soul. They got her little black mustache and that little impish smile that was really black fur going around the mouth. They nailed it. They also nailed the different texture of fur. Here I have the straight. Her hair going in every direction. And they just, when I looked at this, I did not see generic dog, which I was afraid I was going to get back. I saw my Misty in this picture, and that is what really counts. So excited. Then I thought they were going to send me a PDF. They didn't. They sent it to me in JPEG. Nailed that one exactly the way I wanted it. Because with a JPEG, I don't have to convert a JPEG or a PDF into a JPEG. I don't have a converter myself, so I use Fiverr for that, and I get charged $5 just to convert one. And I know it's silly, I can get a converter, but I don't own one. Well, I put it onto PicMonkey, pushed one button. See how fine I got it? Well, that is the way I want it. This is the perfect sketch for me to capture Misty. So I have the photo reference, I have the coloring book reference, which shows which direction to do the fur. I could do that from the photo reference, but it's nice to have another piece of paper with it on. And I can use this as my color tester so that I can nail her colors. They got this one so spot on for me. I am so happy with this sketch. So what they had offered me in exchange is that I would do the picture on a video, which is fine. You nailed my dog. I'm definitely doing this picture. They caught me at a right time, and I had already done the research into it. I couldn't find anyone for under $100 to do the sketch the way I wanted it to be done. Everybody wanted $100, and I don't blame them. You pay an artist what they are worth. But when you're getting up to be $100, and you could do it yourself, you kind of have to think, well, maybe I should do it myself. Well, their prices are nowhere near it. And now you have a loved one, you want to do a sketch of your kids, you want to do your grandchildren, but you're doing it in coloring book. This is the best service that I have found, and I looked at a lot of them. So I'm going to do Misty's picture. It's going to take you a while to be able to completely see it because I've done it so lightly. I didn't really want the hairs to show in ink. This is what I'm going to be working on, and it's going to take me a long time because I've done this on Bristol paper. I used the Multimedia by Strathmore. It's got a heavier tooth than the regular paper that I use to do my demos on, so I have to add more and more layers. How I decided I was going to do the actual picture, I'm going to let you guys follow me, and for like 5 minutes at the end of every video, I'll let you take a peek at it, because this thing is gonna be like a portrait, and it's gonna be a real life portrait of this dog. It's gonna take me could be a month to do this picture, working on it like every day. So I'm gonna let you peek into it with every video until it's done. Oh, I'm surprised he finally got out of his water. He's been sitting in his water dish all day. Are you gonna be all nasty and mad at me now? I'm gonna take you out. This morning I was putting him in. Oh my God. He was in such a bad mood. Let's see if you repeat this. Oh, you're puffing up at me. What are you so mad at me for the last day? Okay, guys. I think we've had enough for the day, and I will see you in my next video. Take care. Bye-bye.